On a lonely country road somewhere between the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex and East Texas is a museum unlike any other.
Yeah, go inside. Do what you like.
The Military Heritage Collection of North Texas began almost on accident by Mark Witham, a man with dual citizenship in England and the United States, a military background, and a broken back.
When you're normally buzzing around like a lunatic, when suddenly you have to stay still, it's very, very difficult. The guys suggested, why don't you let people come in and see some of the artifacts? And at that time, it was literally a barn with just some vehicles in it. Eventually, 2 buildings, 3 buildings, 4 buildings, and now 5. I was an engineer before I did this, and I loved my job. I lost that when I broke my back, the particular type of engineer I was and teacher. It doesn't look very remarkable, does it? Hold it under the light. But I found this, there's not many people that could have something so devastating happen and something taken away and then have it replaced by something they love just as much, if not more.
Yes, look at all the writing on it.
The museum has been around for about a decade and doesn't pay for any of its artifacts. But what it does do is pay it forward all the time.
I got you, sir. Put your hands up.
There's no fee to come in and look around, no gift shop selling t-shirts or memorabilia, just a desire to share history with anyone who will listen.
One of my buddies that works here claims that we put the non in the word non-profit. They say there's cheap, there's frugal, and there's me. I can squeeze a penny and make it scream. Spending money is generally the last resort round here. We will figure out another way of doing it before we actually spend any money. And for the most part, we get away with it. I don't know how, but we do. Nearly all the vehicles here run. We take them out with the kids. I want a level playing field, so when the kids come, it really doesn't matter if your dad's a ditch digger or a CEO. You all get the same thing. It comes down to almost purity of purpose. Our job here is to teach history. Most of these items, in a way, are props. They're the mechanism from which we can tell the kids the story, the person that wore that uniform, what they did, where they came from.
Anyone with a passion for history knows that it is much more than names, dates, and places. Stories are what connect people with history, and Mark has 1 million of them.
But the bullet went in through here, hit the razor here, and deflected out the side.
To keep the museum going, Mark restores old military vehicles.
This thing took me about a year. It was special insofar as a good friend of mine gave me this. It was the very last thing he gave me before he was killed by a drunk driver.
Several reality TV shows and movie producers have used his property, his military vehicles, and his uniforms. He even drove one of his tanks into a church in Grapevine.
I've had to do some things that are somewhat unusual over the years, but we've survived them all, thank God, so far. Driving off a loading dock with two inches either side and 4 inches at the front, in a 17-ton vehicle is interesting.
Thanks to his countless connections and his ability to foster relationships, Mark not only collects exhibits for the museum, but also excess military items like food, clothing, and shelter. And this is where he does some of his best work.
So we found a way of finding this food and clothing, some medical supplies, tents, everything else that you would need. So we would get the material and then filter it out to all these veterans groups or homeless groups.
The purity of purpose is the underlying theme with the Military Heritage Museum. And maybe that's how it works.
We pull them out, we'll get some more in, and then we restore these ones, and then we sell these ones on. We have to find a way of making this thing work, and we do. The only people that sign the doors, you probably noticed all through the museum, we have signatures on all the doors and panels. If we have to do something, we sit down and think about how we're going to make it happen and make it happen.